Hi guys, it's Miss Lyon. I am here today with right triangle trig. So let's just refresh our memory on what we do with right triangle trig. So if you have a right triangle, we learned SOHCAHTOA. So sine is the opposite over hypotenuse, excuse me. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if this was our triangle and this angle up here was our theta, then opposite of theta is down here, adjacent to theta is on the side, and hypotenuse is across from that 90-degree angle. So if I gave you this triangle here, and I told you AC was 12 and angle B was 18, and I said to solve the triangle. So that means that we would need to find the measure of angle A, we would need to find the side length across from A and the side length across from C. So those are the three parts of the triangle that we have to find. So I'm just gonna start with the measure of angle A. Well, because I know two of these angles, I know this is a 90 and that's 18, I can just subtract that from 180, or I know that A and B are complementary because it's a 90-degree angle. So 90 minus 18 means the measure of angle A has to be 72 degrees. Now let's find side length A. So I'm going to use the 12 and I need the A. So if I use 18, opposite of 18 is 12, and A is adjacent to our 18, which means opposite and adjacent is tangent. So you're going to have the tangent of 18 is equal to 12 over A. And when I cross multiply, I get A tangent of 18 is equal to 12. And then I have to divide by the tangent of 18 on both sides to get rid of that. And A ends up being, what did I get? 36.9, rounded to the nearest tenth. And now I need to find C. So if I want to still just use that 18-degree angle, opposite of 18 is 12, but C is now the hypotenuse. So I have opposite and hypotenuse, which means I need to use the sine function. So I have the sine of 18 is opposite, which is 12, and hypotenuse, which is my C. And then I cross multiply again, and I have C sine of 18 is equal to 12. And then I have to divide by the sine of 18 on both sides. And C is 38.8. So there are your answers. That is if you are given an angle and a side. So what happens if you're given two sides? Now this triangle is a little unique because I have a 11 and a 60. So those are two very different numbers. But when I look at this one, I'm asked to find the measure of angle B, the measure of angle C, and the side opposite of A. There's my 90-degree angle. So these are the three parts I need to find. Well, because I know two of my sides, I can use the Pythagorean theorem if I want. You could use trig, but you would not be able to do it first. So 11 squared plus 60 squared equals A squared. When I add these two together, I get 3,721. And then to undo that power of 2, I need to take the square root, and I get A is 61. So there's 61. That's my side length. Now let's say that we want to find angle B. So there's my theta. I want to find angle B first. And I'm just going to use the 11 and the 60. So from this angle, 11 is your opposite, 60 is your adjacent. So opposite and adjacent is tangent. So you're going to have the tangent of B is 11 over 60. But we know that to find an angle, we have to do the inverse. So to get rid of this tan, we have to do tan to the negative 1 to cancel that out. But if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. And when I do that, I get 0.003 degrees. Excuse me. And then, because I know two of my angles, you can subtract these from 180, or you know that B and C add to 90. So if I take 90 minus 0.003, I get 89.997. So the measure of angle C is 89.997. And we have solved that triangle. So that is how you're going to do it if you are given two